By now, you've probably heard that Traxxas has come out with a new Maxx. It was oddly leaked onto the internet, a lot of rumors floating around, but it is here. It's got the WideMaxx kit on it, a longer chassis, but deep down, it is still the fun Maxx that we have been enjoying. In this video, I'm gonna go over what's been changed up on this truck and take it out for a drive. Meet the newest Maxx, a little wider, a little longer, but still a tough and powerful monster truck. This is the perfect choice for someone that wants an X-Maxx and a little bit of a smaller package. Now, it comes out of the box just as you see it here. There's actually, I believe, 6 different variations on the color choices that you could get. And some of the parts are actually changed out, like the shocks and the wheel inserts, depending on the color of the body, which is really cool. You could get a customized truck right out of the box. The only thing that you need to supply for this is the batteries and charger. It comes painted, comes with all the electronics installed, and the new look is pretty cool here. It's got a lot of wild graphics, a lot wilder than the previous version. There it is back there. That's our original Maxx. There is a review on our channel if you want to get some more info, and I got a build series on that one as well, so definitely check it out. There are a lot of parts that we put on that truck that will fit on this one as well. But let's start getting into what they changed on this truck. We'll start off with the body. Besides the graphics, it's now actually a little bit longer. So let me turn this around so you can see it here. And the change is really in the bed. So they made this area a bit longer, and they actually have longer rails. So I've seen some people online looking to, swap out their parts on their old Maxx and turn it into a new Maxx. And some people are saying they're gonna get the body. Just make sure if you're looking at this review for suggestions on what parts to change up, just be aware that you can't just get the clear body shell alone. You're going to have to get these bed rails as well, because as you can see, they are a bit longer. But other than that, it's got the same shape, just the cool new graphics on there. Same one clip in the back, and you pull it up and the front slides out, body comes right off. Hopefully they tweaked this a little bit. I don't know if they did. My body kept falling off once we really started bashing that thing, but that's an easy fix. You just one clip, it goes right back on. All right, now let's get into the changes of the truck. And we'll start off with the chassis here. It actually has a longer chassis. You can see right in front of the motor, there is now a gap between the motor end plate and the speed controller. And this battery tray now fits the larger 6,700 milliamp battery pack. So you can put a larger pack in here, so you get longer run times, more power out of this thing. And that length, I bet you, is going to help this thing be a little bit more stable. The other thing that's gonna make it more stable is the WideMaxx kit, obviously. So we've got wider arms. It adds 40 millimeters of width over the previous stock version. If you're a regular on the channel, you know I already put the WideMaxx kit on my older truck. But the new width here will help with the stability of the truck. And I really actually enjoyed the stock width of the original Maxx. I know there's a lot of people that said the WideMaxx kit was a must, but I had fun driving it. I do like a fast, edgy truck, and that was a fast and edgy truck. But this one makes the ride so much more plush when you're landing off of big jumps. Landing is a lot easier, and the changes here are really in the arms. And these are the heavy duty arms, the black version of them. They have a lot of different colors for the arms, and then the longer drive shafts. There's still the composite drive shafts, the extreme duty drive shafts. Maybe they could have given us the steel ones, but I've had pretty decent luck with these. I think I've only shredded one of them, so we'll see how it works out here. But still the large bore GTR shocks, blue anodized, nice plush suspension. The pins are captured on the inside. Let me spin this thing around just quickly so you can see the back. Pretty much the same arm setup, just a different hub on the outside in comparison to the front, which has the steering knuckle, but really good suspension setup on this. Great for bashing and big jumps. Now, the other change here is these sledgehammer tires. So the original tires were kind of a flat square tire tread to them. And now we got these nice sledgehammers that have the rounded outside, the nice lugs on them, which really shred dirt. I mean, this thing will throw dirt sky high in the air. A lot of fun to rip on a throttle on this thing. And that's really about it for changes. Other than a few things in the center, actually, we now have a new lower skid plate on here and a new center drive shaft as well. And that's to accommodate the longer chassis on here. Still the cush drive. We've got the center differential, front and rear differentials as well, with really strong gears on the inside. Really good drivetrain on this truck. Now let's just quickly look at the electronics in here. So we've got a large scale servo up front, 285 inches of torque, which is decent for this truck. VXL4S speed controller over here, goes back to the 2400 kV motor, the 540 XL motor, all fan cooled as you can see, and everything's nicely wired up. All the wires are captured with zip ties where they need to be. The wires for the fans are captured. So just like other Traxxas vehicles, this thing is really well built. It's got a wheelie bar out back, tough bumpers, little side steps here that help capture the body. And the only things that you need to provide for this truck, again, are the batteries. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna use back here. This is a 6700 milliamp 4S battery pack from Traxxas. And I also have their new 8 amp charger as well that does 2 to 4S LiPos. So that's a nice, easy system to get this truck going. And then actually over here, let me show you really quick. This is everything else that comes inside the box. You get some battery plates here, you get some basic tools, lots of stuff to read as far as your manuals and other options that you get for it, and then the TQI radio system. And I should mention the TSM in here. So it's got Traxxas stability management, which helps you with the drive. It will correct the vehicle if it's getting out of shape, and you could of course dial that down so you could have the full driving experience. It also has self-righting, and I don't typically use that often, but it does have it in there. And with the TQI radio system, you could also go and put the link module in, so you could go and use the Traxxas app for a little bit more tuning and even access some of the telemetry functions, which is a lot of fun for some people. All right, now it's time to head outside with this thing. I had a great driving experience with the standard Maxx. Now let's go have fun with the newest Maxx.
Yeah, I got that.
Ready out? Let's do this.
It landed. Landed hard.
Oh my God. And I hit a rock. Now I crash it. Oh man. Look at this thing. It's full of grass. We're good. Let's keep going. Get a big head of steam up here. Here we go.
Push the button.
Push the button. Here we go. Nice and easy. Still good. Here we go. I think we should call it quits. I want to take this thing home in one piece. All right, drivers, so this is actually day 2 of testing. Put about a half a dozen packs in on the truck yesterday for the other action. And today I just want to walk you through the drive of this thing. It has been so much fun. My friend Al really enjoyed driving this truck. And just like you were expecting, it is super stable with the WideMaxx kit with a little bit of extra length on here. It just floats over these jumps, nice and smooth. Almost effortless. A little correction there. It does drop the nose down just a little bit. But if you finesse this truck, I mean, it's just so awesome to drive. Look at that. I love this jump. I just love floating over the jumps here. Not overdoing it. That's not a lot of throttle I'm putting in on it. It certainly has a lot more power. I overshot that a little bit, but it handles really well. I noticed that on the looser dirt, like out in the parking lot, there's some loose dirt. Those sledgehammer tires really grip, kind of wants to roll over a little bit, but on this harder packed surface, it's a lot easier to drive. You don't have to worry about it rolling. Maybe I should try a backflip here. Let's do a backflip here, and we'll move on to some other jumps. No, I'm gonna overshoot it. All right, let's do this. Ready? Roll this one, and full throttle. All right, we're gonna talk about overshooting jumps and the chassis slap you just heard, but I wanna move on to another jump. All right, this jump here is a wild one. It's on a little bit of a turn, and you get some pretty big air off of it. Nice. Just so smooth and effortless. A little bit of chassis slap. We're gonna talk about that. Nice. Awesome. So easy to drive. Love the handling. Just a good looking truck too. All right, the rollers here are pretty cool. I know the truck's got to look small in the video here, but let me see if I can do all these jumps. A little too much brake. I did notice that this has a lot of brake in it, so you got to be careful with that right out of the box. But I want to get this whoop section. Here we go. Ready? Got to get my timing down. I'm getting there. I'm getting the feel for it. All right, here we go. Another one. I knew I got it. Yeah, pulled it out. All right, let's go over the triple, do some more backflips. Here we go. We're going to go over this triple. It is freezing cold out. I'm just starting to lose feeling in my hands. It's probably about 30 degrees. All right, here we go. Just get a feel for the jump. Nice, smooth, floating jump. Now, the slap you're hearing, you know, if you're going to go big with this truck, you're going to have to do a little suspension tuning, thicken up the oils. But if you're just finessing the jump like this, nice and smooth. You didn't even hear the chassis on that one. Now we're gonna do a backflip. You'll probably hear the chassis slap. Here we go. Spin it around, roll down this, pull on the throttle, hold it. Awesome. What an awesome truck. I love this thing. All right, I wanna go off the waterfall here backwards to do a backflip off of this thing. All right, last jump of the day. I'm gonna come off it actually from the other direction here, because this one, it just floats this way. But I could do a backflip coming towards me. There's just no lip on this jump, so it is going to be a long run here. All right, ready? There we go. No problem. So awesome. All right, guys, let's head back to the studio and wrap up this review. All right, so before we get into the performance wrap up, I just got in a unofficial list of the differences between the original Maxx and the newest Maxx that you see here. So the first difference is obviously the WideMaxx kit. The next is the sledgehammer tires, 2 pairs of those, the chassis, the battery tray, skid plate cover, center driveshaft, 23 tooth pinion gear, and the complete body set. And if you were to buy all those parts, that's gonna run you about $270. What I'll do is actually, I'll put a list in the video description down below for you guys that are looking to maybe convert your original Maxx, and hopefully that list will help you out. And they said it's the unofficial list, so maybe there's some screws or hardware that you might need as well, but at least you'll get a good idea of what you need. All right, now, obviously you guys saw that I tried to change things up a little bit. I brought my buddy Al with me along on the test so I could drive this thing with 2 hands. A lot of my videos I drive with 1 hand, and I lose a little bit of finesse when doing that, but I usually get you good footage. I like getting these shots up close so you guys could see the truck actually working. You guys are buying these things, you should see what it is doing to make sure that it's the right truck for you. So I'm always trying new things and hoping that they work out. And I had a blast with this truck. I like the original Maxx. This one is a great truck to drive as well. It is very stable as far as the handling goes. The one thing that throws it off a little bit is the sledgehammer tires. You know, they do have this gnarly lug on the edge, and even though it's got a nice rounded carcass to it, if you corner into some really high traction surface like loose dirt or grass or something like that, it will want a traction roll on you, so just be aware of that. But when you're coming down off of jumps and stuff, the wider stance of this truck really helps absorb the landings. It helps absorb the rough stuff when you are driving over rutted terrain. The steering on this is pretty awesome. I left the TSM level set from the factory, and I could see it definitely working. We also used the self-righting while we were out there. Al really got a kick out of that, the self-righting, which I hardly ever use, but it self-righted pretty much every time except for 1 or 2 times when we were on the asphalt on the bank surface. There was a little trouble there, but the truck was just killer. It does some awesome backflips. They're kind of long and exaggerated, but it finally pulls off the backflip. It definitely gets your heart pumping when it does that. We landed it on the nose a bunch of times, and it did eject the body a few times. And that's one of the things where, you know, it happened on the older truck. I kind of wish if they were reworking some of the parts here, maybe they would have reworked the tabs, maybe make them a little bit longer, and it wouldn't pop the body out when you have a hard impact. So that issue is still there. That was the only thing that was really getting me while we were out there driving it. It does slap when you do land on flats as well. You know, if you're launching this thing and getting some really big air, you're gonna have to go through this thing and thicken up the oils on it. And we knew that with the other truck as well. It kind of depends on what you're doing with it. If you're just taking tame jumps and you're really good at landing downsides of other jumps, you're planning out your flight path basically. It's a lot of fun and it handles that well, and it's rather plush. But when you just start launching this thing, and there are people that just send it like we were doing off the big berm, landing on flats, you know, it does hit hard, pops the truck back up, and it's a little bit of suspension tuning. They can't make a truck that will handle the super wide range of uses for it. And I think they did a very good job, you know, with a neutral setup right out of the box. It's a really fun truck. You know, the WideMaxx setup, it is pretty dialed. Traxxas, another nice job on this. Wild colors on the body. Just a really aggressive looking truck, and it can take a lot of abuse. It is a serious basher. We know that. The price is a little high for some. I mean, I think every single review on this channel has a comment that the price is too high. It is what it is. You know, they are a business. You know, this is your hobby. They have their business model behind them. It's not just about you paying for, you know, the plastic on here. It is much more than that goes into the pricing of a vehicle. But, you know, Traxxas, they know what they're doing. There's parts everywhere for this. There are tons of aftermarket parts as well. Definitely check out our video series on the option parts. And if you're looking to pick up this truck, I wouldn't steer you away from it. It is a fun beast. All right, if you haven't done so yet, please click that subscribe button and the notifications bell. Throw the video a like and let me know what you think about the new Maxx in the comments section below. We'll see you back soon.